Movies are very powerful means for expression of ideas, for visualizations, or for sensual experience. That's why it's so important to have some personal filters. If you haven't watched the movie Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, I think that you should try to find it and see it. I don't want to ruin it for you, but today I'll be sharing 3 things that the movie made me experience in a very sensual way. 3 points that have very deep meaning for my faith quest. The movie is difficult to watch. It's about a young boy and his intense quest for answers and resolutions. It's about his internal battles and psychological and emotional torments. He loses his father on 9/11, which engraves a big scar on his young soul. Looking through his father's stuff, seeking desperately to find something to connect to, he breaks a vase. Yet another disappointment. While trying to clean the mess and the pieces, he finds an envelope. An envelope with a name on it and a key inside. From this moment, there is only one thing that matters for him: to find what is opened by the key. The only clue is the name on the envelope: Black. So the boy starts with the phone book. There are only so many blocks in New York, right? But he organizes them by areas, calculates distances and times, and starts visiting them, trying to find more clues to help him on his quest. The adventure is amazing. You can imagine how ridiculous this endeavor is, but he is persistent. So many lives are touched by this young boy. I can't describe the richness of this experience. You have to see the movie. But at the end, he finds it. He finds the answer of his question. It's not what he was hoping for. The story is complicated. The vase was purchased by his father, who had no idea about the envelope. Another man saw the vase trying to get rid of his father's things, only to find later on that his father put in the vase the envelope and the key, a key for a safe deposit box. The man spent long time trying to find the vase. He had almost given up when the boy finds him, and while trying to find his answers and resolutions, actually brings the key back to the right owner. There is a disappointment. The quest was not what the boy envisioned. It was actually all triggered by a delusion. All that was driving him to this moment was a mistake. But although everything seemed like a big failure, even though the quest was initiated by a very wrong idea and misunderstanding, even though it was all for the benefit of someone else who didn't even deserve it, through the experiences of his journey, the boy developed a very deep connection to his father and found closure. Our spiritual adventures may have been initiated by wrong understandings or interpretations, maybe even by the wrong motives. The final of this journey will most likely be completely different from what we have envisioned. What matters, though, is that going through this quest, we will get closer to our Father. What matters is to stay with an open mind and live through the experience of this faith quest. My second point is about the mother. Through the movie, we get the impression that she is too much isolated in her own world, that she had lost connection with her son. The boy is violent with her. He screams at her. He tells her that he hates her. It seemed that she didn't care much. It seemed that she was not noticing what was happening with her child. Honestly, you see the footage with this boy sneaking out of home, going alone through so many dangerous places, and you ask yourself, where is his mother? At the end, we find out that the mother was actually there all the time. She was well aware of what was happening to her son. She knew about his plan. She knew about his map, about all the people and places that he was visiting. She made a map of her own and was going ahead of him, talking to the people that he was going to visit, telling them about his story and how important it was for him to complete the quest that he thought his father had left him. Sometimes, in our spiritual quest, we feel alone. We feel like no one understands us, that we are abandoned. Let's keep in mind, there is someone who is always close, who always cares, and who goes ahead of us, preparing the way. It's not easy, but it's part of the experience. It's an essential element of the spiritual quest. My third point is about the main element that made the experience for the boy so intense and so important. On the day of 9/11, his father had a meeting in the World Trade Center. It wasn't something usual for him, and no one of his family knew that he was there. When the first plane crashed into the building, the boy was released from school. He was not aware of what was happening. When he got home, there were 5 messages on the answering machine. So he started playing them, and there was the voice of his father, calling him, trying to reach him. Are you there? Are you there? Seeing the live footage on the TV and hearing his father's voice, the boy suddenly realized what was happening. He was terrified. These messages were engraved to his memory. They were haunting his mind. He knew that when his father was leaving the first message, he was just leaving school. During the second message, he was crossing such and such intersection. He knew exactly where he was during the third and fourth messages. When his father was leaving the fifth message, he was already in the building, making his way to the apartment. But there was a sixth message. And when the phone was ringing, when his father started leaving the sixth message, he was there. He had just heard the previous messages and he froze. He was terrified and paralyzed. So he listened to his father's last words, seeking desperately to hear his son's voice. Are you there? Are you there? But he couldn't pick up. This sixth unanswered message was his biggest pain. There is a father who is calling our personal lines every day. He is leaving the same message. Are you there? Are you there? He is trying desperately to establish a connection, to hear our voice. If you hear the ring, pick up the phone. Thank you for spending this time with me and for allowing me to share these thoughts with you. Blessings, and to the next time.